Welcome, Alola trainers.
Alola.
We are the spiritual gym leaders here to help you be your very best.
The bestie that ever was. Today we are doing a Pokemoncy pack opening journey together. So let's take this journey together. And yeah.
If you don't already know what a Pokemoncy pack opening is, it is a psychic reading with Pokemon cards through ripping a pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip the pack, we're going to place all the cards out, and then you intuitively choose a number, 1 through 10 or 1 through 11. We get 11 cards quite often. And whatever numbers speak to you, those are the messages for you.
All right, but before we begin, we're going to do a little breathing exercise. That way we can be nice and centered and just allow whatever numbers want to come through for you. All right, so what we're going to do is just find yourself in a nice, relaxed state. And just follow the ebb and flow of your breath. Just to be right here, right now with us, within this moment, within this present time, as it is a gift to be here with you and I. All right, and then we're going to I'm feeling the color purple, this beautiful purple energy around us to receive this divine number. And what we're going to do is breathe in this energy, hold, and as you breathe out, feeling more relaxed and centered, breathing into your heart, hold, and just release any expectations. And one more time, feeling the base of our spine as we breathe this energy in and out, pushing this energy down, feeling more grounded, and just allow whatever number wants to come through at this time. You might see, hear, or even feel the number. But if you don't have any numbers, you might just feel it within the reading, and that is okay. All right, we're gonna come back into our bodies and hold these numbers as we go through this journey together. Breathing in and out, wiggling your hands and your toes and opening your eyes, and welcome back.
Welcome back. So also, if you feel called to do multiple numbers, then that's okay too. Mm-hmm. So if you felt multiple numbers come to you, I certainly did, then that's great as well.
All right, so let's go ahead and open the pack. Okay.
Journey together. And also, while Gym Leader Zuby is placing the cards out, I do want to remind you that we are accepting clients for private readings. So if you're interested in a private reading, you can book at thespiritualgymleaders.com. So all of our readings, it's both of us together. So you get 2 psychics and through Pokemoncy.
Alrighty, let's see what cards
what wants to come out.
Okay.
Whee! Oh, you're not supposed to show them.
I didn't know which way it was coming out. Well, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, let's put this down. Alrighty. It's funny, I kept hearing like 1, 2, 3 to the foe, Snoop Doggy Dog.
And Dr. Dre is at your door. Well, I hope not.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
11! Okay.
We love the bonus energy.
I knew 11 was going to come through.
It always comes
yeah,
through
it really
at this
does.
point.
This is 4 out of 5, or 5 out of 6. Anyway.
Okay.
Can't keep track anymore. All right, you want to go first?
Alrighty. Okay, so if you chose number 1, this is your message. Okay, we have Hops Corvikinites. Corvikinite? Corviknight. Okay, Corviknight. Anyways. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay.
He's flying around.
Hops Corviknites. Alrighty. So it says, shooting through and steel wind. Although its wings have partly turned to steel and become heavy as a result, this Pokemon flies to the skies with ease. So because this was like kind of flying around, I definitely was getting this energy of you going through, like, at the end of that metamorphosis, you're kind of like falling out of your cocoon in a way. But through this evolution, the fact that it's steel type energy, I feel like you kind of have like this thicker skin, okay? You have these more like, you have this like thick skin through this evolution. And the fact that it says that it became steel and became heavy as a result, like you could still fly. So it does feel like you kind of have this thick skin and, you know, it's really heavy, but you're still flying and you're flying with ease. It's not like a heavy burden, but just know that there's still like a lot of heaviness within you, but you're still able to move and fly. And what I'm getting is like the more you practice flying, the more you're flying with ease, this energy will kind of dissipate. But again, this evolution is not new to you. You've gone through so many metamorphoses and you've gone through it time and time again, but this time it's telling you like what you need to do to protect yourself, to make sure that like when you fly, it's nothing could steal your flights, nothing could steal your shine or your energy, and it's time for you to move through that. Like just shoot through it, just shooting through the sky and still moving through no matter what. And yeah, that is number 1.
All right, number 2. Oh,
Ooh.
We have Iono's Belly Bolt. You know, I almost made a comment about Belly Bolt being on the front. And yeah, boom, there it is. Okay, so number 2, Belly Bolt. Iono's Belly Bolt. Using Electric Streamer. Okay, so Iono, at least I hope I'm saying Iono correctly. There's so many things that I've read, but never knew the pronunciation. So I feel like maybe that's a message for some of you of like, even things that you're learning, if you've only read them, it's time to start listening to them and getting the inflections and pronunciation correct as well. And especially because it's Electric Streamer. So I feel like for some of you, you want to be a streamer. Maybe you want to game. Maybe you want to live stream and just stream your life. Some type of streaming that you want to do, but it's very important that you're getting your words correct in some sort of way. And this is electric energy. So it feels like the quality of electric energy can also be a factor here. It feels like, upgrading, right? If you think about a streamer, I mean, everyone starts somewhere, but eventually, what's the first thing a streamer does to invest in their business is like higher quality streaming things. So it feels like the equipment wants to come and help you, right? Because it's Belly Bolt. That's like one of her partners, right? So it's like, it's a electric friend that wants to come and help. Additionally, Belly Bolt, like as you can see, the electric energy, the voltage is coming out of its belly, its tummy. And so it feels like there's a lot of stored up energy in your solar plexus, which is your, the chakra that is associated with your willpower, your sense of self, your ego, and even creativity to a very certain extent, because it's creative, well, it's self-expression, which can be inherently creative. So it feels like part of your streaming journey is also expressing who you truly are, showing your personality, showing your ego, showing what your sense of self is, and also sharing your willpower. Like, this is who I am and this is what I can do. Look at my determination. Look how I'm making these choices. And we don't have a dex entry, but it does say Pokemon X rule. So I feel like you are meant to rule in some way. This is giving me like royal energy, but there are some things, X, I always take that as something that you need to cut out, something that you need to keep in the past, just like the X's. So take that as you will.
All right, and if you're just tuning in, we're doing a Pokemoncy pack opening where we do psychic readings using Pokemon cards. Alrighty. All right, 3, we have Fungus. All right, number 3 is Fungus. Spore Ball. The Pokemon prefers damp places. It spores out poison spores to repel approaching enemies. So it's saying like it prefers damp places, this is obviously mushroom fungi network, so maybe working with the fungus spirit, and I feel like it's going to choose you because fungus has like that Pokeball on top of its cap. So again, it feels like there's a choice that's going to be coming to you and made about working with fungus spirit, however that applies to you. And yeah, it says it prefers damp places. So if we think of like just like dampness, it's not necessarily completely wet. It's not necessarily completely dry. It's like this weird texture or feeling overall. And I feel like it's going to help bring out some sort of emotional dampness. So it's not completely like submerging yourself within the emotional field, but also not being completely dry. So it's balancing out your emotional system and knowing how to communicate better with your own network, right? Your own connectivity to your body and your own like fungus system, right? Because the way our body communicates with each other is kind of like how mushrooms connect to each other in the external world. So it's definitely going to help you connect better to your body. And it talks about it repels spores to that approaching enemies come, and it pushes out poisonous spores. So to me, it definitely feels like your biochemistry is coming online. So notice like if you start feeling more damp, it's probably because it feels there's a threatening energy coming through, and it's going to start repelling certain people to you or towards you or whatever. So if you notice that people around you are just like leaving or whatever, it's because your biochemistry is literally repulsing them and poisoning them so they don't come to you, okay? So like just see it as a blessing and not as like, oh my God, is it something about me? No, it's not about you. It's literally, it's about them because anyways. So just notice how, just there's something about your fluids.
All right, number 4. So I was getting a message about number 4 that this is trying to hide in your shadow. So if you pick number 4, get ready. We have greedent. Okay, so I definitely feel like there's a shadow program about greed that is running. And even if you look at him, it looks like he's overeating. So there can be some gluttony as well. So I feel greed and gluttony that is going on here. And it's using, gluttonous tail. And it's called the greedy Pokemon. Okay, yeah. So just straight up, greed and gluttony are 2 things that you really need to get a hand on. They are both considered deadly sins because they can corrode the soul. Not that I want to use that word necessarily, but you want to really be careful about these energies in your life. It says, this Pokemon makes off with heaps of fallen berries by wrapping them in its tail, which is roughly twice the length of its body. So what it's telling me is that there is a tale that you're telling yourself. So it's a program that's running, something that's going on in your mental space that is making you collect tons of fallen berries, right? So it may make you overeat. It may make you take more than what you need in some sort of way. And the tail, it says, is twice as long as its body. So it feels like this program, it's running through your entire body, but it's a big program. It feels like this is something in your shadow that is starting to consume more and more because it's really trying to get your attention. So it's really important that you start to identify what programs are causing you to feel like you want to take more than what you need, or even take things from others, or making you want to consume more than you need, which again, there's nothing wrong with splurging or wanting more for yourself. But when it comes to the point of, gluttony and greed, there's a reason why it's called deadly, because it can really hurt your body and your soul.
Yeah, I wanted to add as well something that I've noticed with overconsumption in some way. It is an anxious attachment style of feeling like there will be no more food in some way. There might be that program of trying to just consume because there's a fear of it not being there anymore. So take that as it resonates.
Yeah, it's a lack program. It's thinking that you lack something and then you over consume it. It's very similar with people, you know, greed is one end, but also poverty is the other, where it's like if you feel like you're poor and that you don't have money, as soon as you get money, you spend it all to try to prove to yourself that you have the money, and then you end up not having any again. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of trying to consume or do something that ultimately leads to the opposite of what you actually want. So very similar program.
Okay. All right. And we're doing five. Number 5. Okay. We have Milcery. So if you choose 4 and 5, there might be like some sweet programs as well, or consuming sweets. That's if you chose one or the other, but I'm going to read this just as whatever. Oh, and it's 50. Okay. So lots of change. It says tackle. So maybe tackling down your sweet tooth is going to be super important. Or just tackling that aspect within yourself. It says, when attacked, it tackles its foes and covers them in cream. With its foe either blinded or astonished. Okay. When attacked, it tackles its foes and covers them in cream. With its foes either blinded or astonished by deliciousness, Milcery flees.
What a silly little guy. Or girl, sounds like, I don't know.
Okay, so it talks about, I don't know, this could just also be people, I'm feeling like just like being overly sweet to people, right? It talks about it covers its cream, and it either like it causes blindness or astonishedness, and even to its foes. So like still giving this sweetness energy to your foes, and then you're like, all right, I'm out, because it feels like you've kind of overgiven your sweetness, and then you're just like, okay, I'm out of here. So even though like, so it's understanding your own probably like overly giving your sweet energy even to those that don't deserve it. I heard desert it. But yeah, it talks about it being blind. So I keep hearing like also just being blinded by the light and not being able to see how you're also just giving your sweet cream to people, your sweetness, the creaminess of it. Very interesting. Oh, and it's like cooking something, or it's like baking something. So, there's also another message too of like baking a sweet treat to your foes and giving it to them to sweeten. Like if somebody's just being mean or nasty to you, or like a foe, like baking them something with the intention of like, they're just going to be sweet to me, and when they eat this, it's just, they're going to be so sweet, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, a message here for whoever.
Little kitchen magician. Okay, number 6. Whoa. Okay, that wanted to fly. Okay, we have electric energy coming out stuck, and it's moving. So it feels like there's a lot of electrical energy that is in your body. And this electrical energy needs to be moved out of your body because it came out stuck, which is telling me that this can be, when electrical energy gets stuck in the body, it's usually anxiety. It can be anxiety, it can be depression, it can be a manifestation of a lot of different things, but you usually know because you're like on edge, you feel like you can't regulate your nervous calm system, and you may just feel nervous all the time. You can usually feel the electricity shooting through your body. And so this can also be an indication of the solar plexus. The solar plexus, there might be energy stored there and it needs to move. So, you know, the energy of the solar plexus, there's a lot of things that you can do to move the energy, right? It's the area of the gut. So, you know, rubbing your belly is one energy. I feel like this is very connected to the belly bolt. So if you picked number 2, then, and this one, then that message is definitely associated with that message as well. But it feels like yeah, doing things for your tummy. I'm feeling like even castor oil packs on your tummy and doing things that can help like your digestive system. So literally learning how the intestines loop and like moving your hands on it to help digestion and to help the energy flow so that you don't have a bunch of stagnation. Additionally, you can do like lymph openings so that way those fluids move through your body. That can help digestion as well. And additionally, when it comes to the electrical current that's going through your body and moving that of anything that's stuck, you can do that through tapping. You can do that through breathing exercises. You can also get energy work. That's also a tried and true method of doing it, but there are also a lot of, free ways to do it as well.
Okay. All right. We have number 7. So if you chose number 7, this message is for you. Regice? Okay. All right. We have Regice. Okay. Ice energy. Number 7. Icicle. Right? Is that icicle?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at me. I could read. With cold air that can reach temperatures as low as 328 degrees Fahrenheit, Regice instantly freezes any creature that it approaches. So there is this aspect of cold communication, being very cold with your words, like speaking, and it just being like ice as well. So maybe if this is you, I'm feeling 2 different messages. Maybe you are somebody that speaks very coldly and very straight to the point, very cutting as well, because ice kind of like, if you think about ice, it hardens up and I'm seeing like icicles as well, like coming out of your mouth and just like kind of jabbing in that way of being super cold and very blunt and very straight to the point. As well. So maybe for some of you needing to work on that, but then I feel like other people need to be more cold when it comes to their communication style and being very straight to the, like, you need to learn how to just be straight to the point. One no is also a sentence. You don't have to over explain yourself. For the people that are learning how to be more cold with your words, stop over explaining yourself and kind of just saying things to the point. It's very interesting that 328 degrees Fahrenheit, negative, but anyhow, that's a very specific number. It's not like, oh, it's 1,000 degree Fahrenheit or whatever, how normal Pokedex entry cards are. So anyways, that's an angel number for you. So look up 328 with that message, but because it's negative 328, maybe seeing it through the opposite lens of that. And just learning how, isn't Regice like an ultra beast?
It's not an ultra beast, but it's one of the Reggies. So it's like Regirock, Registeel, Regice, that I believe were all born from Regigigas.
Okay.
Or like Regigigas is like the dad of them or something, kind of. That's the energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like there's going to be like 4 lessons that you're going to learn through the way that you speak, and the 4 is a number of foundations. So like learning different communication styles, it's going to help become more grounded into the way that you are articulating your words and learning how to speak as well. And obviously I was like having trouble reading as well. So yeah, there is this aspect of maybe like being still with yourself, right? It's frozen. So maybe before you speak, like learning how to sit with the words before you actually speak them is also going to be very important to you. Take what resonates out of any of these and, go with the flow. Remember that these are general messages. So however it applies to you is exactly how it applies to you.
All right, number 8. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Paldean Whooper. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. So it is a dark type and it's using trip over. So I feel like it's another shadow message. So there's something that you tripped over. So basically you're tripping right now. Okay, you're tripping. There's no shame in it, but you are. You tripped over something and it seems to be your own shadow, something that stimulated your shadow. It has brought some darkness into your world. Let's see what it says. It says, it's dangerous for Wooper to travel alone. They line up in groups of 3 or 4 and help each other as they walk around the wetlands. And it was interesting because when I saw that it was Paldean Wooper, obviously it's a different form of Wooper, right? And I was feeling there was something about being in a different region. And this is talking about how it's dangerous to travel alone. So there could have been something that, again, it feels like you're tripping over a false sense of danger. Like, of course, there are things that are dangerous, but it feels like this is a fear program where you're tripping. You feel like you can't go out alone. You feel like you can't travel alone. It's a very fear-based, restrictive way of thinking of like, oh, I can't go out. I have to have 3 or 4 friends with me at all times, or else it's just unsafe. Like, that is just not true, right? There are certain situations that you never want to put yourself in. There are certain locations that you never want to be in alone. But in general, you should feel safe being in your body, and you should feel safe being on this planet. And if you have a fear program that's telling you that you're unsafe to go here or do things by yourself, then you really need to assess what shadow program, what fear program is running, and overcome that.
Okay. All right. And then we have number 8.
No, 9. That was 8.
2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, okay. All right. We have number 9. Whoever chose number 9, this message is for you. I'm feeling this one. Okay. Escavalier. Excalibur. All right, we have Excalibur. Ooh, is this like reverse hollow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Look at me looking. I know all the terminologies now. All right, reverse hollow. Escavaler. Pierce. It charges its enemies, lances at the ready. An image of one of its duels is captured in a famous painting of Escavalenture clashing with Surfetched. So very interesting. Yeah, I definitely felt like very knight energy. So maybe you're a knight, or maybe a knight is coming to you. But this energy, it's definitely giving prophecy in some way, right? It's like a famous painting, right? So it's already been pre-imaged to you. So maybe you do feel like that there is a knight coming in some sort of way to come to you. Pierce. It charges its enemies. What's your fetch? Okay. So yeah, it's saying that it's ready. So maybe this energy that you're feeling inside, it feels like you're at the ready. Like you've been preparing yourself for this for some reason. Maybe you are a knight and you feel this call, this deeper duty, this sense of like, I need to serve in some way. And, you know, it's talking about steel energy. So maybe you've been practicing, maybe you've been like feeling the call to go to the gym and protecting yourself. Like, I feel like there's an initiation process into the collective masculine at this time of knights coming in and like ready to be that next level of protector collectively, or understanding what it means to be a protector as well and like serve in that way. Like you're at the ready, like you're being called and like you're ready to go. And again, this is kind of like predestined in a way, because this has been placed into like, yeah, it's been placed in your mind. Like you could see it. You don't necessarily see the big picture just yet. And with Surfetched, I always take Surfetched energy as, yeah, like there is this sort of combat, but then the evolved form, or is it Surfetched that retires?
After it's
wilts
or something.
Yeah, after it leets Wilkes. So it's not going to be a battle where it's like it's a battle and then they're just going to like retire and maybe you could just continue or whatever that case might be. But there's a territory I'm also getting, because sometimes Surfetched to me represents like protecting your territory, protecting like the leak as well. So maybe there has been like a territory, maybe it's an energetic thing, or just you making sure that like you're conquering in some way. Again, there's definitely an energy of like you needing to serve and go above and beyond and make sure that whatever needs to happen or whatever you're preparing for or getting ready for, like you're going to win because somebody has invaded your territory, or this collective energy of being invaded in some sort of way. Very interesting energy.
Yeah, Excalibur is named after Excalibur, which was the name of the sword that King Arthur had.
Oh. Okay. Well, there's that message. So again, like the chosen one, like you were chosen. It feels like you don't know what it is. You feel it because you're being called to like be the one to stand up and to be that knight, and going through what the knight journey is going from knight to then king.
Well, you can be a page too. Knight and page can become, both of them can become king if they choose.
If you choose.
If you choose.
Whatever your path.
Or queen, shout out to Brienne. Okay?
Yeah. But again, it's like, it's the start of your journey and you get to choose what you'll do afterwards. But this is your initiation process. You're really being called to the forefront, and whatever happens after that is completely up to you. So, yeah.
And you can also just stay a knight. Some people just love to battle until they can't battle no more.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10. Alrighty. We have Shelgon using guard press. So Shelgon, I feel like you have been in your shell for a very long time and now it's gone. So it feels like you are ready to open up and be more vulnerable than you used to be. But with guard pressed, it's making you feel pressed to be even more guarded now because your shield is off. So congratulations on being able to let go of that heavy armor, but it does feel a little bit like you are, I don't want to say a frantic state because it doesn't necessarily feel frantic, but it kind of feels like you're nervous, like a little bit nervous that you have to keep your guard up because now, you don't have that extra layer. And it's called the Endurance Pokemon. So I feel like you endured a lot, and it kind of feels like, you had this hard shell, this like cocoon, and things were constantly like thrown at you and things happened to you and you endured it. And then finally you were able to shed that. It says the cells within its shell transform with explosive speed, preparing it for evolution. Yeah. So again, it feels like you're out of the shell. You've gone through the metamorphosis. It's talking about how its shells, or it's talking about how its cells are changing, right? Are transforming. Yeah, the cells inside the shell are transforming. So it feels like, on a cellular level, you're a completely different person now because you went through the middle stage of metamorphosis, and now that you're out of that cocoon phase, it still feels like you're in the goop, but you're out of the shell. And so that's why, again, it feels like a very vulnerable position. Maybe you can't fully open your wings and fly just yet, even though those wings are fully formed, but you're just kind of shaking off the goo. And it is dragon type, which represents needing to clear a lot of dense energy. So it feels like you've done a lot of the cellular reprogramming and been able to let go, but there still is more work to be done because it's talking about preparing for evolution. So you still need to support yourself. You need to support yourself on a cellular level. So that's what you're saying to yourself, what you're putting in and on your body, food, drink, any other substances, health and beauty products and things like that, as well as your sleep cycle, the amount and the quality of sleep that you're getting. All these things are going to be influencing your cells. So prepare for this amazing evolution, right? And when Shelgon evolves into Salamence, which is like awesome dragon energy. So once you reach there, it's going to be amazing, but you really need to support yourself right now so that you can take flight when you're ready.
Alrighty, last but not least, number 11. Lucky number 11. Alright, we have Shelmet. Interesting, more shell energy. So, Shelmet, shell smack. Okay. It has a strange physiology that responds to electricity. when together with Carablast, Shelmet evolves for some reason. So it's very interesting because as we could see, Shelmet here, Shelmet is kind of coming out of the shadow. We could see it kind of coming out, yeah, like of the shadow of the tree. So I'm definitely getting like taking yourself out, but it's still kind of in there, but you're kind of peeking, and the tongue is very prominent to me. I'm also getting a lot of messages because it's like a tree that it's coming out of. There's a lot of roots, a lot of tree energy, maybe ancestral stuff, ancestral stories or languages, or yeah, just stuff that's coming on. And you're noticing that your strange your strange physiology is responding to electricity. So again, you're understanding your nervous system a little bit better. The shell smack, I definitely feel like you're just ready to get out of your shell. Like I'm hearing like get out of the shell, like just like the universe is kind of like spanking you to just get out of it. If you chose number 10, I feel like this is kind of like a digression into this energy and then into that. And yeah, so there is something to be said about like your lips and the way that it's being puckered. So getting ready to like kind of sensing it in some way, but I definitely feel like you might also be meeting somebody that's going to cause your evolution, right? It talks about it when it meets Carablast, right? It's going to blast you into this new evolution, this new phase. They're going to stimulate your nervous system in a way that's going to get you out of your shell, get you out of the hiding in the shadows as well, and really put yourself out there, and really just like, just being smacked out of whatever whatever energy that you're in. So yeah, be ready to meet somebody that's going to just cause an evolution for you and get out of your shell and evolve. Thanks for tuning into our Pokemoncy pack opening, where we open journey together. If this resonates, please comment and let us know exactly what you liked about this reading. And yeah.
And remember, if you're interested in a private reading, you can book that at thespiritualgymleaders.com. And that we also have a lot of other goodies there, including astrological poke parties, custom Pokemon items that are energy infused to help you accomplish the goals that you are trying to accomplish, to help you be the very best you that ever was. Oh, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us everywhere at The Spiritual Gym Leaders.